and it's nice to see that kind of grow in its own way, and then also have something else going on for him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, you know, it's a bit of a spoiler, but the relationship ends up being with someone from the Lucian Alliance, and what we've done is we're dealing with the repercussions of the end of season 1 and having, you know, some of those Lucian Alliance people on board the ship and how they eventually sort of weave their way into the, you know, into the people on board.
Robert Nepper, everyone.
Yeah, Robert Nepper, you know, plays a regular part. I actually had written a script that's a little bit later on in the season, and was trying to figure out who would be best suited for this character. He's kind of a bad guy that goes head to head with Rush at one point, and my wife was watching Heroes, and Robert Nepper was on screen, and I thought, wow, he would be great. And I called Paul Weber, our casting director, and I said, could we find someone kind of like Robert Nepper? And he said, how about Robert Nepper? Great. Okay, Elena, you are an incredibly happy and bubbly person. I don't really know how you do it, but you have...
I'm an actor.
Yeah, but the thing is, I always get the feeling you're not acting happy and bubbly. You really are that way, and yet your character has to play a lot of incredibly emotional scenes. You know, how do you do that? How do you prepare for those types of scenes? It's the sort of thing that for me, I get to watch it close up, and you make it look incredibly easy. So how do you do that?
Like Robert was just saying, I really love to sort of be in the moment and not play the end result and not be too conscious of where it's going, but live in it. And I think that's what I love about TJ. I think she's got so many great opportunities to show her strength and also her vulnerability. And I myself have learned a lot from her because I'm sort of the person, Elena, who's like, I got it, I can do it. And TJ's sort of the one that's like, I know I can, but I need help convincing myself. And so I've learned a lot from her and how to ask for help. And so I really enjoy playing those moments. As far as preparing, work is kind of like a relax to me. I have 3 little kids, and they go everywhere with me. They're here with us now, and
I think that deserves an applause, people.
They're my best production, my best project yet. But yeah, so it's funny. Elise and I were going to work one day. Elise and I live really close together, and I was giving her a ride to work, and she was saying how exhausted she was. I think it was like 10 o'clock in the morning, and she had just rolled out of bed. And she looked at me and she's like, I probably shouldn't say that to you. Because I had been up since 5 and done a few loads of laundry and was going to work. And so she made the comment, which I think is true, is work is sort of like a release and a refuge for me. And I really enjoy it. So I get to prepare well in that work.
What's amazing, I mean, you play a lot of these emotional scenes with Louis, and he, if people don't know, is probably the least like his character.
Absolutely.
He's, you know, he's a bit of a clown on set and has a great time, but, you know, and then, you know, at the snap of a finger, he is, you know, the super serious Colonel Young. Do you ever find that tough, that, you know, there he is, you know, joking, and then you have to immediately, you know...
That's literally what happens. It's like cut, and he's like, da, 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 and he's like into character. But no, I don't find it difficult. I think there's and this goes for all of the cast. There's such a great mood on set, and we all have a great deal of respect for the work and for each other. And I think it's a trickle down. I think the mood of the set is definitely set by your number one, which is Robert Carlyle here. So there's a great deal of respect for the work, but then there's a great spirit on our set with our cast and our crew all the way up to the top, and producers and the writers, and so I don't find it difficult.
Well, speaking of sort of setting the tone, the end of last season, Bobby, you came to Brad and myself and expressed an interest in directing. And we explained that it's kind of difficult sometimes for an actor to direct because it takes them out of the process, you know, during prep so much. So we called you early on this year and said, okay, you can direct, but you're first up.
Yeah.
So you talk a little bit about the directing experience. I mean, this was something that was a little bit new for you, but I mean, you did an incredible job, and obviously bring all your acting experience to the table. But talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I directed an episode. It's called Pathogen. I believe that comes out number 4.
Yeah, it actually is going to air as episode 4, but we shot it
first up. No, when we had a couple of phone calls during the break, the guys had sort of suggested that. I said, yeah, I was up for it. You're first up, he said. Okay. And I'd never done it before. I mean, I directed in the theatre for quite a few years. And I really always will do. I love working with actors, enjoy working with the actors. In Pathogen, David has been quite a large part in that. It's Eli and his mother, basically, the story's kind of concerns. And that was fantastic working with David on that. I think we had good fun doing that. Also, we had Ming as well in there, and Ming, this episode actually, most of it I would think probably is on Earth. Ming goes back to see her lover, David goes back to see his mum, and a very, very emotional episode, and I figure that's maybe why the guys...
Yeah, you actually, David, maybe you want to talk a little bit about the fact that at one point, you had a particularly emotional scene, and Bobby actually kind of surprised you with some personal items from your past.
Yeah, he played a little trick on me there. It was, we were doing a scene. It was just a really crazy emotional episode, actually. It was, I can't even imagine how hard it was for you to work on that, but then on top of that, it was the first one back for the second season. And it was probably the most emotional thing I'd ever done. I think all of us. Like in the snow. It was like raining, it's snow, it's cold, we're all emotional, it's crazy. It's your first time directing, we were going nuts. But there was a really crazy emotional scene, and he had contacted my parents and got them to send in a picture of me when I was a kid holding an E.T. doll, I think. I was a nerd back then. It was a nice little surprise. It was nice. He's a great director. He's an actor's director. It really makes it a safe environment for you to play, and I really had a lot of fun in that episode, even though it was incredibly tiring. It's very cold. First scene, first shot, was raining early, like 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and then it turned to snow.
It was originally supposed to be in a doctor's waiting room. I didn't fancy that, so I took it outside in the rain.
Thank you for that. I lost all feeling in my hands. I'm still waiting for it to come back.
I mean, literally, we would be like, okay, action. And then cut.
So at the beginning of season 2, Rush is kind of back up to his old tricks. I give away a little spoiler here. If you don't want to hear it, plug your ears. No? Okay. Rush actually discovers the bridge of destiny, but he doesn't tell anybody. He keeps it to himself for a little while. We built a new set for that. Talk about just your first reactions to seeing that set.
The bridge, the new bridge set is absolutely fantastic. It's wonderful. It's everything you ever wanted to do as an actor in a science fiction show, if you know what I mean, because it's the bridge. You've got the captain's chair, you've got all this stuff. I like that too. I'm a bit nerdy too. That's okay. So it's wonderful to see that, and of course that becomes almost like a character in the rest of the season. The bridge, we're on there a lot, and I feel kind of sorry for the control interface room now, the place where we were for the most of season 1, which now seems to be...
It's kind of sitting there going, hey.